Watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now. He dreamed of being a traveler, serviceman and announcer. He was interested in minerals, and plants made all these dreams come true. There are 20,000 kinds of plants from all continents of the world here. Like brave warriors having excellent bearing, they have welcomed guests for over 100 years. Ravil Rizapov has been their permanent guardian and guide for more than half a century. He is a keeper of the summer garden in the most northern part of Kazakhstan. Hello, my garden. How are you? I haven't seen you for a whole day. How did you spend the night without me? The tropical paradise of Petropavlovsk. How to wean a cactus from a baby. What does tinned meat have to do with it? He goes all around his greenhouse. He knows every corner here like the back of his hand. He saw many plants of this evergreen park growing. I spend whole days here. I hear squeaks and their conversations. Some of them feel good, while some energy feels bad. The botanical garden director is like their father. Now he will stroke and embrace lightly some of them or look intently at some plants. A few will be scolded to teach them a lesson. The most important is not to go too far. If I say you little rascal have bit somebody, of course it will start wilting and won't even come up. Recently I've said you're a hater. Why did you do that to this person? After that it suddenly wilted. I apologized to it, promised not to treat it in that way anymore, and ask it to strike a new root. They really strike root. The temperature and humidity is like the southern latitudes here. The glass ceilings are as high as 25 meters. It is the result of a recent reconstruction. A special climate has been created here. Quiet music is coming from a microphone. According to the owner, it is easier for plants to take roots to classical music. They like Mexican music too. The most important is that we turn on the Quran recording for the palms in the evening. These are the reasons why the concentrations of plants is extremely high here. There is no space here now. 100 years ago, a dozen Laurus nobilis trees came the first dwellers of the oasis. Colonel Kurapov brought the spice plant seedlings from St. Petersburg, and the same year he started a business of national importance. A meat packing plant opened in Petropavlovsk in 1912 on order of Nikolai II. A vegetable garden, school, hospital and laundrette must be established. It was declared in a decree issued in 1912 and a stamp was put on it too. The copy was transmitted from St. Petersburg. The king ordered to grow onions and spices for canned food in order not to bring them from India or Greece. For this purpose, it was necessary to find people who were skillful at growing plants. These were called botanists. A good worker was awarded with a coin called an altyn. In the early 20th century, half a kilo of bread was worth this sum of money. In addition, he was given a tobacco pouch. The tobacco was grown here too. There is a special underground greenhouse. A plant called laurel grove is still known by its original name here. Bay leaves were used as an ingredient for tinned food. This is how the botanical garden first was established. A bay leaf is not only a kind of spice, its infusions and oils are used as medicines for joints and kidney stones. They lower blood glucose, soothe the nervous system, and purify the skin. The Romans gave bay wreaths to the winners. Legend has it that Apollo loved a woman and suffered from undying love. When the woman turned into a bay bush, Apollo made a wreath and wore it. They celebrated the 100th anniversary in 2012. There were a lot of dishes, drinks, and great food. Here is a 100-year-old exhibit. As soon as it blooms, we'll make tequila. If these green parts are pollinated, there will be bananas. All these scales will fall. This sort is edible, while bananas imported here and eaten by our children are not. Now there is water, light, and warmth here. Ravel remembers the time when they did not have them. It was during the hard times in the 1990s. Nobody needed the greenhouse then. There was no heating or electricity. We made fire in the greenhouse and were walking as dirty as dustbin cleaners. Over 200 plants died as victims of the cold. But the bay tree, on the contrary, bloomed for the first time in 100 years. They say this is a result of stress. You can't help being envious. This date palm tree is directly connected with Ravel's family tree. It was planted in 1740, so it is older than Petropavlovsk itself. His great-great-grandfather, who was an imam, brought it from Mecca. Well, he brought a seed, to be exact. Back then, they only went on foot, and the seed was first planted in pots and tubs. Later, it was transplanted to a house. When the first mosque was built, it was transplanted there. It was one of the first buildings in Kazakhstan. The nomadic life was over. After that, the tree remained there forever. It is higher than a 5-story house, but it doesn't bear fruit. The maestro explains that it is a man. It is a male plant, thus it needs a lady to fertilize. People of the Near East consider a date palm as a prototype of the tree of life. It symbolizes immortality and the renewal of people. According to legends, gods and the first people of the world ate the fruit that this tree bore. Giving a palm as a present stands for wishing fertility and prosperity. The Washingtonia filamentus is a palm native to northern Mexico. It is another heirloom of the Ravel's family. He calls it victorious. His father, as one of the senior officers, took part in the Victory March and went past the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin. The officers were handed little seedlings. This palm stayed in my family. He was given this little victorious flag too. On average, palms have a lifespan of 200 years. However, there are tropical long-living palms that get to the age of 500. Another date palm was planted in the same year as Kazakhstan's independence. It is a remarkable exhibit of Kazakhstan's contemporary history written in the Journal of Botanical Gardens. A plaque with the name of Kazakhstan's first president, Nazarbayev, is attached to this tree. This seed was brought from Mecca and Medina. The seed sprouted and a new beautiful plant appeared. This is a present received from the Cuban comrade Castro's brother. The Ponderosa lemon is a hybrid of a lemon and a grapefruit. Ravel associates it with the part of Soviet childhood, when he carried out an adult mission. As a member of a young naturalist-friendly delegation, he visited a lot of countries. He brought seeds, seedlings, and cuttings from them instead of souvenirs. Raul Castro, Cuban Minister of Agriculture, handed it to me and said that he wanted to see a person having the same name as is among the Soviet pioneers. My name is pronounced Raul in some world languages. As a real guide, he connects the destiny of almost all plants with historical events. Being in a contingent of Soviet troops, he went to Vietnam and brought this exhibit from there. Banana is a grass-like plant. You can see flowers and little bananas. It is really unusual for us because we live in the north. It's like Siberia here.
Вот такое необычное диковинное растение для нас, для севера, для сибирских условий.
The banana tree is one of the most ancient plants on Earth. It is considered that it started developing 50 million years ago. They can be green, yellow, and even red. It is even taller in natural conditions. It has saved millions of civilians in Vietnam. During the US involvement, they waited in banana thickets for the arrival of the Soviet troops. I was called an amateur and a botanist, and since then I visited the country. I couldn't help bringing them home. Oh my God, there were 18 places and 18 kit bags. Anyway, it was impossible for me not to bring them here. It is Strelitzia. He can't express his excitement. He said he has cherished his dream. Words cannot express it, but he overwhelms with feelings. This flower is incredibly beautiful. The other name is Paradise Bird. Pyotr the Great himself could envy Ravil. This remarkable present was delivered to Peter the Great, especially for the apothecary garden. However, the monarch did not see it in bloom. This plant is native to South Africa, and there is a legend saying that when it flowers, the buds shoot magic arrows, and they hit lovers' hearts and their love lives forever. It bloomed for the first time in 20 years. This South African plant is an emblem of Addis Ababa. It appeared in Ravil's collection by chance. A former bank employee before moving abroad managed to find a good owner for her favorite plant. It unexpectedly came into flower in winter. Now we are waiting for it to flower again. He has succulents and cacti too. There are about 5,000 of them in the greenhouse. I've loved them since my childhood. I make garden stands and then move all the cacti outdoors to breathe. Araucaria, native of California, agave, native of Mexico, lemon from Cuba, and the ferns from Vietnam have been a good neighbors for many years. Their roots interwove and became not only a part of Ravil's life, but also its meaning. Time is measured in different ways here. These are traces of leaves. This is a year. Here is one more year, etc., etc. He has been in the tropical garden since he was 12. He began his career as an ordinary worker. His father was a serviceman who approved of his son's interest in flora. Ravil was even called a botanist at school. He has lived up to his nickname, which he doesn't find offensive at all. The first book I read in Russian was Traveling with Indoor Plants. I couldn't speak Russian for a long time.
Вот первая книга, которую я прочитал на русском языке. Я долгое время русского языка-то не знал.
This interest turned into a family business a long time ago. His son and wife work on plantations too. The blossoming garden pays generously for their efforts. When a person comes here and sees all the beautiful plants, they rejoice and show their deep gratitude.